Hi, I'm Chef Brad, and today we're in the Honeyville kitchen, and we're gonna talk about knives. The single most important piece of equipment you can have in your kitchen is a good, sharp, quality knife. And we're gonna talk about Wusthof Knives today. They're a company out of Germany. They've been in business for over 200 years. Do you think they know how to make a knife? Absolutely, their knives are fabulous. Well, you buy a good knife, and I know all of you have done this. You bought a good knife, and then a couple months later, you take it and it doesn't do exactly what you want it to do. There's a few reasons. So let's talk about after you make that purchase, you get a really good knife in your kitchen, how do you take care of it? There's a couple rules we're gonna tell you today. Number one rule, never wash your knives in the dishwasher. Is what happens when you put them in the dishwasher, they go up against each other or up against other metals, and the humidity in there can cause rust, and it will dull your knives. Another rule is I never throw my knives in the sink on top of each other. You know how when you cook and you have all your knives, you just take and gather them up and throw them in the sink? You don't want to do that. Same principle. They hit against each other, that will dull them, they'll rust. The best way to care for a knife is to wash each one individually. Just run it under warm water with a little bit of soap, a little sponge, or one of those little brushes, and then lay it on a towel to dry. Once it's dried, this is the next important step. Make sure you take your knife and put it in a block, either a block on the counter or a block in the drawer. The reason that is when you slide it in the block, it keeps that edge protected. It keeps other things from banging up against it. That way your knife is always gonna be sharp. And did you know that less accidents happen in a kitchen when the knife is sharp? Dull knives cause more accidents. So keeping your knife sharp is important. So let's talk about how you do that. There's two tools in the kitchen for keeping your knife sharp. They're honers. One is a diamond honer. This one is like going to the dentist. It does the repair work. This one is a steel that's like your toothbrush. It's the daily upkeep. So when you take your knife out of your block to use, it's just quickly just taking it, a quick run down the side like that, is what that does is on your knife, you can't see it with your natural eye, but when you use your knife, the edge of it kind of bends over just a little bit. And this lifts it right back up so your knife is perfectly sharp every time you want to use it. Now, if your knife gets a little nick on it or something like that and you feel it, this isn't quite working as well, that's when you go to the dentist and you pull out your diamond honer. This one, same technique. It lifts that edge right back up, repairs any little damage you might have done, and you keep your knife perfectly sharp. The advantages of sharp knives in the kitchen are things cut better, and it goes a lot quicker when you're chopping, slicing. There's a couple knives that I think are absolutely indispensable in the kitchen, and one of them, because I'm a bread maker, is a good bread knife. This is a double serrated bread knife by Wusthof. Amazing how it cuts. A good bread knife doesn't rip your bread apart. Look at this. It just slices perfectly down through it, just very evenly, and look at that. Amazing. I watch some people with bad knives, they sit there and they crush the loaf of bread down, and by the time they're done, it's just totally ripped up. It's just like going through butter when you have a good sharp knife. So a good bread knife is perfect. And I like having these great big bread carving knives. They're great. I do great big round loaves of bread, and these are perfect for cutting through it or carving the turkey. They're just a fabulous knife. Look at that, just like going through butter, absolutely amazing. Another great knife, this is a standard one that most kitchens have, is a French chef knife. These are great, and they come in different sizes, but they're great for cutting vegetables, and they just go right through. It's just absolutely amazing. They have these in different sizes. A very good knife to have. Another one is a paring knife. These are used for peeling. If you want to take and peel your apple down or core your apple or just make little slices, these little knives are great for that. There's a lot of other different knives you can buy. America's most popular knife right now is the Santuko. It has this really unique blade that's great even for slicing cheeses and stuff because things don't adhere to the surface of the knife. No matter what knife you buy, you want to make sure that you buy quality and that you take the proper care of it. If you take the proper care of your knife, I guarantee you, you'll have a knife that will last you a lifetime. It's been great fun cooking with you today in the Honeyville kitchen. For more information about our wonderful products, tips on how to use them and the recipes, go to honeyville.com.